Good afternoon, my dear student. Today, I am going to discuss the remaining portion from the chapter 2 from your geography book. Now, last day already discussed about the different types of mountains and also the different types of plateaus. Now, today I am going to discuss the first another landform that was the valley. Now, what is valley? The valley is also the low-lying area that it made due to the movement of tectonic plates and also by the endogenic and exogenic process. Now, what is valley? That valley is the low-lying area. Suppose here is the one mountain is there and here also one mountain. This between the two mountains is here. Which one is the low-lying land? This low-lying land between the mountain is known as the valley. So you understand that what is the valley? So valley is the low-lying area or the lowland area between two mountains are known as valley. Now here the valleys are different types. What are the different types of valley? So first to understand the definition that what is valley? Valley are the lowland area that located between the two mountains. Now valley are can different types also. It can take the U-type shape, I-type shape, different shape also. Now we are going to discuss about the different types of valley. The first one is the Rift Valley. What is Rift Valley? That which valley that last day discussed about the Rock Mountain. So while the Rock Mountains are formed, that time which part it goes downward. This downward portion beside the Rock Mountain is known as the Rift Valley. Again I repeat that due to the earthquake, when the few part of the earth surface goes upward and the few portions goes downward. Now this downward portion beside the Rock Mountain is known as the valley area. And example of valley, the Great Rift Valley is one of the example of valley this year. Now the next is the River Valley. What is the River Valley? That why suppose you think that between these two mountains, here is the total land is there. Now if the river being passed through this region, if the river, any river is being passed through, then what the river did? River main function is the erosion. So due to this river erosion, it creates the I or V type valley. And by through this, due to the river erosional process, when the valleys are formed, these valleys are known as the river valley. What are the example of the river valley? Brahmaputra Valley is the one of the example of the river valley in India. Now the third one is the glacial valley. Glacial means the which valley region it formed due to the glacial erosion in the mountains. Which valleys are formed due to the glacial erosional process in the mountain region. This type of valleys are known as the glacial valleys. Now what are the examples of the glacial valleys? That is can U-shape. And the river valley is always in the I-type shape. River valley always remember it in I-type shape. This type shape is always occurred. River valley, okay. River valley always in the I-type shape. But those are the glacial valley. It always glacial valley always in the U-type shape. U, this type shape is the glacial valley. Always in a U-type shape. And the example of the glacial valley is those are the Great or the Grand Canyon in USA. These are the example of the glacial valleys. Now the last one is the flat floored valley. What are the flat floored valley? This type of the valleys are formed due to the river erosional process mostly, but sometimes for the deposition of the area where it became the flat land. That time this type of the valleys area are being formed. And the example of this valley is the Nile River Valley. So these are the different parts of the valley, the different types. Now go for the plain. What are these? Another landform that is called the plain. What is the plain? When the land height is almost same or equal in the sea level, and the very less from the sea level to 200 meter or below 200 meter from the sea level. Like suppose here is the sea level. So from the sea level, it's only the 200 meter height or below 200 meter. This type of the landform is known as the plain area. And the plain area is very important for us. Later we discuss about what are the importance of plain. First we discuss about the types of plain. The plains are three types. What are the three types? First is the structural plain. What is the structural plain? That which plain region are already formed a particular structure or it may by through a particular structure like this particular shape and size you already there. This type the plain area is not formed by the erosional or depositional process. They are from the nature already a particular structure like the rectangular, triangular, circle. This type the particular shape and structure already is there. This type the plain area is known as the structural plain. Next, for the example of the structural plain, that in the Russian platform or in North America, the Paris, these are the examples of the structural plain. Now, the next is the erosional plain. What is the erosional plain? That which plain region are formed due to the erosional process of river, glacier and the wind. This type the plain region are known as the erosional plain. One thing you have to remember, which plain area from the name only you can understand. Erosional means this plain area are formed due to the erosional process of the river, wind, glacier, anyone. That this type of the plain area is known as the erosional plain. What are the example of the erosional plain? That are the Paris in North America is the erosional plains, or the northwestern Europe. These are the different examples of the erosional plain. And the last is the depositional plain. Depositional plain you can understand from the seeing name that this plain area is formed by the depositional process of the wind, river and the glacier. This type of the deposit, when they deposit the large amount of the substance, sand, silt, alluvium, soil, that time only this type of plain area are being formed. That is why this type plain is known as the depositional plain. Again I repeat, which plain area are formed due to the depositional process of the wind, air and water. This type the plain region are known as depositional plain. Now these are the three different types of plain. Now what are the importance of plain? That the plain are very important. Plain areas are very important for us. You know for what? Because the plain area is very useful for the agricultural process. Because mostly plain area are made by through the sand, silt and alluvium soil. That is very helpful for us. And the second is the plain area is very useful for setup of industries, factories, housing area, buildings, hotels. They can easily make it. And also it very useful for the transportation and communication. Those are the roadways and railways track we can make easily over the plain area. That is why the plain area is very useful for the living peoples. And in the world, most of the peoples are living in the plain areas than the other places of the world. So these are the different importance of the plain area. Now later we read about the other landforms. Other landform means except this all the landforms, few landforms are also there. The first is the isthmus. What is the isthmus? Isthmus means a landform that fully surrounded by the water body. That a landform that fully surrounded, suppose a landform is there that fully surrounded by through the water body. This between this landform is known as the islands. This known as the islands. This which landform is fully surrounded in all the sides by through the water bodies. This type landforms is known as the islands. And the example is the Sri Lanka. This one is the Maldives. This one are the example of island. Andaman Nicobar. These are the example of islands. Now the second landforms is the peninsula. What is the peninsula? It's a little bit different from it. Suppose here is all the sides is being surrounded by the water, and in peninsula there are three sides. Suppose this one, north, east and west is surrounded by the water, but only the southern portion, suppose it's connected with the land masses. This type figure or this type landform is known as the peninsula. So what is a peninsula? Peninsula is the landform, the three sides of a land covered with the water body. Only one side is connected with the mainland. This type the land masses is known as the peninsula. And you know what is the best example of peninsula? That our country. What is our name of our country? India only. So India is also the example of peninsula. You know for why? Because except the northern part of India, the other three sides of India, because in India northern part Himalaya mountain is located, so this portion are connected with the land masses. But other places like the east, west and south, in the eastern part, which things are there? In the eastern side is the located Bay of Bengal, and the western side Arabian Sea, and the southern portion Indian Ocean. So that is why the India is also known as the peninsula. So from here also question will come. Why the India is known as peninsula? So what do you write? Because in India also the three sides surrounded by through the water bodies. That is why India also known as peninsula. And the last one is the isthmus. So last one is the isthmus. The isthmus is the narrow stream that connecting two big land masses. Means suppose here two big. This one is the one land masses, Here is the one land masses. Now this one to join by this narrow strip. This narrow strip is known as the isthmus. This narrow strip is known as the isthmus. Okay. So this one is the example of isthmus is the isthmus of Panama that is joined the North and South America. Next is the landforms and people. So these are the different other landforms, that is the island, isthmus and peninsula. Now the landforms and the people, how they related with each other. Now one thing I want to say you that those are the peoples. Landforms are different types like the plain, plateau, hill, mountain, different type. Now peoples are like to stay or people like which type of landform. That generally all the people they should need the occupation or the job. So on which place they get the more amount of facility for the job or they can earn money, that place they prefer to live. But and the other way, those places they not get the sufficient amount of job or they not get the sufficient amount of work or opportunity for the work. They did not want to stay. So these things only happen that in the mountain region, especially those are the mountain and the hill area, where it's a very difficult for the peoples for living. You know for why the mountain area is difficult for the peoples for living? Because you know mountain is a sloping area. So if the people want to make the agricultural land, so it's been very difficult that they have to cut the soil, sloping area soil, then they have to prepare the agricultural land. And also the second thing is that if they want to make the transportation and communication, roadways and railways setup, that is a very difficult and very costly also to make the roadways and railways in the mountain region. And the third is for the agriculture process they not get an opportunity if they want to set up the business from the industries and business. It's also very difficult for them because the land is not so much strong. That are the reason that why the peoples are not want to stay in the mountain. But the same way, the large amount of peoples they like to stay in the plain area. For that, all the reasons I already discussed in the discussion while I'm telling you why the plain area is important. These are the reasons because plain area is very useful for the occupation like the agriculture. Either the plain area is very useful for the other things like the setup of factories and industries. And in the plain area, the people can easily travel for the transportation communication purpose. They set up the industries, factories, or the other houses. They can make it easily. So for the different reason, the most of the people in the world they like to stay in the plain or plateau region. So by this way, the landforms it reflect to the people's life. And the last one is the impact of geography on history. Now, how the geography its impact on the history. Now, how these two subjects related with each other. I am telling you one thing that in the first chapter in history also you read that in the River Valley Civilization. River Valley Civilization. Now you read that beside which civilization is located beside which river. So the river name, how you know this river name? That if you not learn the geography, then you cannot able to say that which river is located in which continent or in which country. So you have to read the geography, then only you can say that which continent this civilization is located or in which beside which river this civilization is located. This river is passed through in which continent or country. Except you learning the geography, you can't say properly in history also. So that is why the geography is very important to know about the history, and especially in the history we read the different places name, that where the different kingdoms will come and they ruled for the many years, they travel their distance, their extension, how much area they conquered by a particular ruler. So if this area about the concept of the area or the kingdom or the country, so if we not read the geography, then how can we say that about the country or the kingdoms? So if we want to get the history good knowledge, then we should read the geography also. By this way, the geography create the great impact on the subject of history. So I hope you have to understand it, all the things those I discussed in this class. So next day is already completed, and the next day I discuss some inside question from here and also the exercise portion. Up to here for today it's enough, and next day discuss more.